Introducing the 3-part options course with Hans Albrecht. Get access for free by scanning this QR code or clicking on the link in the description.
Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a great week. So as we see, the melt up is continuing in the market, so no real changes can be seen. We're continuing to grind higher. So bigger picture, we're still holding this channel. As long as we're holding the channel, we should continue slow grinding to the upside. So I mean, personally, I don't think this wave 3 is done. We're pushing the wave 3 and we are likely just starting to see some of big stocks like Microsoft break out. So I think we still have a little bit more room in the wave 3 before we have a little bit of cooling before we push higher. And that wave 5, I still think we're continuing to slow grind to the upside. For me, again, I would need us to break this 5900 level for us to kind of have that bearish sell-off into the level of support. So we are, again, I do see this as an ending 5th wave. It's just, I don't think we're done yet, right? You look at the dollar, for example, we are still having that little bit of digestion at resistance. We go to the chart of the 10-year. Again, we are having a rejection here off this bull flag, which I've pointed out to you guys before, which means yields being weak should be able to help IWM higher again. We are trying to break out of 1-year sideways base, and so as long as we hold over 230, IWM is bullish. So we could kind of have a continuation in growth stocks this week, and Wix, for example, is selling off. We have a lot more room in 11, so which is why I think we still have a little bit more room to push in this upside, because again, I've shown you the chart of QQQ, and we know that this is very likely going to go to the top of the channel. So far we have been breaking out. So Qs, again, I still expect further momentum into the week. Last week we kind of discussed Meta, and you can see here we kind of had that flag breakout, kind of a little digestion, but we still have room to the top of the channel. Microsoft was another stock I've discussed last week, and what ended up happening once we stripped 425, we ended up pushing into 446. So again, we do have supply at 446. If we break 446, we're very likely going to make all-time highs on Microsoft and Amazon, right? We discussed how holding 200 was bullish, and we had 225-ish as the target. You can see that we have pushed all the way up there, and honestly, this is the 1.618 fib, but we may not stall there. We could have a bigger sequence of this being a 1-2, pushing into a 3-4, into a 5. So though we could see some digestion because we're at the top of the channel. I do think that this digestion still 250 probably hits in some time. The dip probably, maybe we come back, fill this gap, and go up to 250. Yeah, there is more upside, but obviously don't chase it as of right now. With all that being said, let's look at this week's watch list. With the yields being weak, I think growth could have a little bit of upside. And again, I have shown you UPST before. You can see that we've broken out and we've pushed into the 70 supply target. Now, as long as we hold 70, I still see 100 on UPST. So I think, again, this week, this is the trend line. If we can break over 77, 78, we should be able to push into 85, 90. So that's what I'm watching to see. I do know that we have a gap here. So holding 75 is kind of a must. Otherwise, we could fill the gap before we go higher. So yeah, that's what I have for UPST. The next one I have is BABA. And again, I have been pretty clear on the fact that I think any bounce is going to get rejected. And we're going to come back to the bottom to retest 75 on BABA. So that's still my stance on BABA. Square, another good one. We've seen a break out of this channel. Once it did, we're kind of having that upside. Any dip likely going to get bought on Square. We're going to continue pushing into that 105, 108, and probably into 120s in Square. So this is a good looking chart. Any dip is very viable on Square. And last but not the least, I have XOM, and oil's been looking pretty weak. And this is not a healthy looking chart. You can see previous support. So if we do stay below 114, we're very likely, going to come down into 110 and probably into 107. So yeah, that's why I have a XOM short. We did reject this resistance and we are breaking down from this trend line. So yeah, keep an eye on XOM. That's all I have for this week. I hope you have a great day.
Join Chase to trade with Rithika and other experts. Subscribe to LaDuc Trading YouTube channel for more Wolf's weekly wave list videos and other content.